Hi folks. Hurricane Sandy reminded me of the need to have fresh water in case of an emergency. And by now, probably most people have seen this kind of two-bucket water filtering system using ceramic filters. Maybe some people haven't, but in case you haven't, and this is your first time, I didn't figure this out myself. There's a lot of people who've done this. And I thought it was a smart idea. Now, some people recommend using Berkey filters, which I think is probably the best filters on the market. But believe it or not, they can't be sold in California. California has rules against those Berkeys, and it's hard to say why, except that California is a state run by insane people, and you know, I don't think I'm going to get too much argument from too many people about that, but they can't be sold here, so I settled for Doulton filters, which aren't as good but are still pretty good. And for the time being, I do intend to use this for everyday drinking water. This isn't just for an emergency, although I am going to have some additional filters that I'll keep in case of an emergency. I'll have extras, but this is going to be for everyday drinking water for now. Here I have the filters and my bucket set up on some clear glasses so you can get an idea about how fast these Doulton water filters actually filter water. They say it's about 1 liter per hour, and I guess that is about right. So I have 2 of them, so I'm getting 2 liters per hour. And what that means is that for 4 gallons of water, it's probably going to take about 8 hours to filter all that water. So that's an important thing to know. This is the water collection bottle with the spigot that I have on here. And I bought this spigot online. I don't know if you could probably maybe get one at a hardware store. I don't really know. But I bought mine online. It cost $7 with shipping. And I am using food grade buckets. Not food safe, but food grade. So these are high quality buckets. If you're gonna use a filtering system to filter your water, I figure that you might as well use food grade buckets. Why would you put them in a non-food grade bucket? It'd be better than nothing, but I think this is probably the smartest way to do it. This is what I use to make the holes in buckets and also the lid to accommodate those filters and the spigot. So 1 hole in the collection bucket, 1 hole in the filter bucket, 2 holes in the filter bucket and 2 holes in the lid. This was my tool of choice to do that job. This is the box my filters arrived in, and it goes through the things that it'll remove: taste and odor, harmful bacteria, cysts, absolute filtration, small particles, algae, turbidity, removes guinea worm. I have no idea what that is. Chlorine, and it's not a fast flow rate for this. Now the Black Berkeys, this cost $22 shipped, and I got two of them, so I spent $44 for two of these. The Black Berkeys are a lot more expensive. They are about $110 for two of them, but they last longer and will filter more water than one of these. These here, you're supposed to, for every 550 gallons, you're supposed to replace them. So since I have two in my setup here, that's 1,100 gallons, which is still a lot of water. That's pretty cheap. And I more or less figured it out. It's somewhere about 4 cents per gallon, which is still very inexpensive for filtered water. It's basically like a spring water. It will not, it doesn't filter as completely as the Berkey. If I was using questionable water in this thing, I would still add, I'd add some chlorine bleach, 2 drops per quart, or is it 4 drops per quart? I think it might be 4 drops per quart of bleach, and that way I'd be sure to kill whatever remains after passing through these filters. With the Black Berkeys you don't have to do that, but like I said, they don't sell them in California, so I settle for these, which I don't think is a bad choice, really. So this is a view from the top, looking inside, and you can see my setup with these 2 filters. Now there's room. If I wanted to, I could put 2 more, and ultimately I may wind up doing that, but for right this minute, this is going to have to do. And you know, it does take a while to filter this water. You can't be in a hurry, because if you are, you'll be disappointed. But the water does taste very good. Now, when you first get these, you're supposed to let them filter 10 gallons of water, and you're not supposed to drink that water, although I did taste it and it didn't taste too good. After that, it tastes fine and they're ready to use. So you also got to be prepared to understand that they can't be used right out of the box. They have to be prepared. So that's an important thing to know. Now, the way we're using this water filter system in our house is to actually store the water in these 5-gallon jugs. We used to buy water, spring water, because the taste of the water in my area is terrible. It really is bad. So my wife doesn't like to drink tap water, and I'm not all that fond of it either. But we were storing the water in, we are storing the water in these 5-gallon jugs, and you know, of course we have a dispenser too, so it's pretty convenient to do it that way. Now, if we're on the road or at some kind of an emergency location or camping or something, this setup would be perfectly reasonable for dispensing the water. The flow rate out of that spigot is actually pretty good, so it's not slow coming out or anything like that. It's a pretty good flow rate. So that's about it. I do think people ought to at least have some of these filters for an emergency, and probably one of these spigots, and keep them with your, maybe keep the filters with a towel in there so that they don't get damaged if they get bumped, and keep the spigot in there with it, and you'll have it all together so you can set it up if you need to. In an emergency, you don't want to get caught short of water. That's the single most important survival item. You can have all the food in the world, but if you don't have water, you get big problems. So that's about it. Thanks for watching.